The NFL draft is still many, many months away. And I can be seen as one of those people that had said, even just last week, 2 weeks ago, if I were the Chicago Bears, I would absolutely look into trading out of the Justin Fields market and getting in to the Caleb Williams market. Now, that was last week. That was 2 weeks ago. My whole thing in life, and I've learned this from numerous sports casters, numerous sports opinionists over the years, is if you stay with the same opinion just to stay with the same opinion, that's stupid. Loyalty outside of being loyal to your wife and being loyal to your family is mostly overrated. Teams aren't loyal to players. Businesses aren't loyal to employees. People have been laid off numerous times just this year alone. So loyalty is largely overrated. And so when it comes to sports opinions, I'm going to change my opinion sometimes. And Caleb Williams, I tried to hold on. I tried to stay on the roller coaster that was Caleb Williams. At the beginning of the year, I was all in on go get Caleb Williams. Be really, really bad this year and go get the next generational prospect since Andrew Luck and Trevor Lawrence and Caleb Williams. I'm out. I'm just out. It wasn't a great senior season for Caleb Williams, and I know I'll be seen as a hater from the Instagram, Twitter, YouTube scape where people just go on there and see someone that throws a ball really well and goes, we need that. He's so good. Have a little self-respect. Have a little bit of self-confidence in your team. It's just low sports self-esteem. Nothing has ever worked out, rarely in the NFL, by drafting out of complete and utter just desperation. It doesn't work out. Being desperate and drafting someone and hoping they change your franchise largely doesn't work out. And so that brings me to Caleb Williams. We saw what the USC did. His backup, Moody, I believe his name was. Again, I'm not going to act like I watched a ton of the Holiday Bowl. I'm more of a real semifinal college football guy, but I saw the highlights. I watched a decent amount of that game. It looked like a different team. And that's a good Louisville team. It's not a college football playoff team. It's not a New Year's Six Bowl team, but they made the ACC championship. And they gave Florida State fits. So that's a good Louisville team. And USC blew them out of the water. What we saw last year with Tulane against USC, and I believe it was the Cotton Bowl. USC completely outmanned in that game. Tulane beat the brakes off of USC in that game. Caleb Williams was not a difference maker in that game. They lost to Tulane. And, he won the Heisman. You could go ahead and chop up a decent amount of that. He won the Heisman. He's awesome. The defense sucks, and I largely agreed with you. But at this point, with Caleb Williams, where do we draw the line? So when I see USC score a touchdown, and they're out there saying, we're a team now. We play together. We're a team now. That was a shot at Caleb Williams. It was a complete and utter shot at Caleb Williams. And so the cards continued to get stacked against him. We saw it earlier in the year when his dad leaked that he might just stay in college, which is the stupidest thing. Whenever you see a player that is probably going to be the number one overall pick, they never stay in college. That talk you just look dumb when you do that. You're not staying in college. I don't care how much NIL money you can make. You want to know how much NIL money you can make? It's not as much in the NFL. And that's why people go. So when his father was saying, hey, he might just stay in college. Like, okay, whatever. A lot of college players use that ploy, whatever. And then it was, well, he's going to ask for ownership of teams. It was, what? You're going to ask for a stake in ownership in which Tom Brady couldn't even get? The NFL shut that down for him. You're going to think you're going to get it now and you haven't played a snap in the NFL? Everyone telling him how awesome he is. Everyone just putting him up on this pedestal. We see guys like Nick Wright at one point putting him at the top of his quarterback hierarchy, going out and crying in the stands to his mother after a third loss on the season, which didn't signify anything more that wasn't already seen by USC. They were not getting in the Pac-12 championship game. They were not making a New Year's Six bowl. They were not making the college football playoff. And instead of being with his team, he's in the sidelines, in the crowd, crying in his mother's arms, just right after the game is over. And then on top of that, not answering questions to the media after the game. And then later on in the week, saying that he just wants to go home and cry to his dog. He wants to go home and cry and eat ice cream and sit with his dog and watch shows. It's not a leader, guys. And if you're a quarterback in the NFL, you have to be a leader. You have to be a grown-up. Lamar Jackson is a grown-up. Patrick Mahomes, grown-up. Josh Allen, grown-up. You don't see those guys going into the stands, crying to their mothers after they lose the game. Patrick Mahomes, we saw earlier this week, got a little emotional. He wasn't crying. There wasn't a single tear that came out of his eyes. He was upset. Football's an emotional game. I get that. Finding his wife, his mom, bawling in the stands, that was weird. It's just weird. And then not speaking to the media at points in the season after they lose games. Then USC saying we're a team now after they score. Him asking for ownership of teams if he gets drafted, which we all knew was never going to happen. Him leaking, he just won't go to some teams. It's too many red flags. It's too many red flags. If you're a team desperate for a quarterback and you are just desperate to give this guy the sun, the moon, and the stars and everything in between, sure, draft Caleb Williams. I get it. Everyone needs a quarterback in this league. It's a quarterback-needy NFL. The quarterback play has never been worse. Check some of the teams that are starting quarterbacks this year. It's a lot of Jake Brownings and Joe Flacco's and Josh Dobbs this year. So I get it. You want to draft him, cool. But I'm completely changing my tune. If you're the Chicago Bears, go get Marvin Harrison Jr. If you're the Arizona Cardinals, you're sticking with Kyler Murray. If you're a team on the fence about drafting a quarterback, I would absolutely think you take a second look at what the Caleb Williams experience is going to bring to you.